When you hear the word marketing, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Annoying ads? Maybe pushy salespeople? But what if I told you marketing is actually a secret weapon? One that can win a presidential election. That it's a force that builds empires, and when you ignore it, can bring them crashing down. So let's peel back the curtain and see how marketing is secretly shaping our world.
Okay, let's start here. I want you to think back to 2008, the US presidential election. Barack Obama's victory was absolutely historic, right? A huge moment. But behind the scenes of this massive political shift, something totally new and revolutionary was happening that would pretty much change the game forever.
You see, behind all the speeches and the rallies, there was this invisible force at work, mobilizing millions of people and raising hundreds of millions of dollars, all online. So the big question is, what was the secret weapon behind this historic win? And the answer, a revolutionary marketing plan. And that's really the core idea we're going to explore today. Marketing isn't just about selling you stuff. It's an incredibly powerful tool that can build movements, rally people around an idea, and yeah, even change the course of history. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to bust some common myths and figure out what marketing truly is. Then, we'll look at the marketer's toolkit and see how the game has been completely turned on its head. We'll jump into a real-world masterclass with some pretty wild examples. And we'll wrap it all up with a powerful idea called the all-in marketing philosophy. Let's do it.
All right, so first things first, let's bust the biggest myth out there, that marketing is just selling and advertising. You know, most of us only see the tip of the iceberg, the annoying part. But the real work, the important stuff, is happening deep beneath the surface.
The legendary management guru Peter Drucker absolutely nailed it. He said, the aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well that the product or service fits him and sells itself. I mean, just think about that for a second. The real goal isn't to interrupt you or trick you. It's to understand you so well that the solution feels like it was tailor-made just for you. And when that happens, the whole selling thing, well, it pretty much takes care of itself. So it all boils down to this simple but super powerful definition. Marketing is the art and science of identifying and meeting human and social needs profitably. It's kind of like being a detective. You're finding a problem or a desire out in the world, and then you become an inventor, creating a solution that people are genuinely happy to have. It's this whole cycle of listening, creating, and then delivering value. And that solution we're talking about, it can be pretty much anything. Seriously, the reach of marketing is huge. We're talking goods, like your car, services, like a flight, massive events, like the Olympics, unforgettable experiences, like a trip to Disney World, even persons, like your favorite musician, places, like cities trying to get tourists to visit, properties, organizations, information, and maybe the most powerful of all, ideas, like a public health campaign. And this just shows you the insane range we're talking about. On one side, you've got Las Vegas, marketing itself as a place, an adult playground, selling this whole experience of escape and excitement. And on the other side, a powerful campaign marketing a life-saving idea. Friends don't let friends drive drunk. See? Both are marketing. One meets our need for fun, and the other meets a critical social need for safety. Okay, so if marketing is all about meeting needs, how do marketers even figure out what those needs are? Let's move on and take a look at the fundamental building blocks, basically what's inside every marketer's toolkit. Now, this is one of the most important distinctions you gotta get. A need is a basic human requirement. You need food, you need water, you need air. These things are universal. Marketers do not create them. A want, on the other hand, is how you choose to satisfy that need. So, for example, you need food, but you want a pizza. That want is shaped by your culture, your personality, and, yeah, by marketing. Ever stop and think about the journey your morning coffee takes to get to you? It's this whole fascinating process called the supply chain. You can see it here. It starts with farmers harvesting the beans. Then they get processed, shipped across the world, and finally, they're sold in a store. Marketing is like the invisible thread that connects every single step of that journey. From figuring out what kind of coffee you like, to designing the bag, to making sure it's on the shelf right when you want it. Now, that supply chain used to be pretty simple, but today, just understanding the basics isn't enough. The entire game has changed. Which brings us to the new marketing realities, and why the playbook from even 20 years ago is completely obsolete. 4 massive forces have just completely reshaped our world. The information age gave us, the consumers, all the power. We can look up reviews and compare prices in seconds. Globalization means competition can come from literally anywhere. And then there's this big one called disintermediation. I know, It sounds like a mouthful, but all it really means is the internet lets companies sell directly to you, cutting out the old school middlemen like a department store. And this has forced traditional stores to completely reinvent themselves. It's just not enough to put products on a shelf anymore. I mean, look at this Dick's Sporting Goods store. They don't just sell running shoes. They actually built a track so you can test them out. They don't just sell golf clubs. They have simulators so you can take a few swings. To survive, they have to sell an experience, something you just can't get online. Okay, time for a quick marketing masterclass. Let's look at a couple of powerful, real-world stories that show these new roles in action, for better and for worse. First up, a cautionary tale. Back in 2009, two Domino's Pizza employees posted a video of themselves doing some disgusting things to the food they were making. Now, they later claimed it was all a prank and the food was never delivered, but in the world of social media, it didn't matter. The damage was done. The speed and scale of the fallout was just staggering. That video got over 1 million views in just a few days. The brand's reputation for quality, something they spent decades and millions of dollars building, was torched almost overnight. Domino's had to respond, not with some slick TV ad, but on YouTube and Twitter, apologizing directly to everyone. It was a brutal lesson. In this digital age, your brand is in the hands of your customers and your employees. Now let's flip the coin and circle back to where we started to see the positive side of that same power. The Obama campaign absolutely mastered these new tools. They raised $500 million online, and a lot of that came in small donations from 3 million different people. They used the internet not just to shout a message, but to build a real community and give supporters the tools to organize themselves. It was marketing that didn't feel like marketing at all. It felt like a movement. So, all these examples, they bring us to our final unifying idea. In this new world, marketing can't just be some siloed department down the hall. To really succeed, it has to become an all-in philosophy, a belief system that guides every single thing an organization does. This is what's called holistic marketing. And the core idea is that in today's super connected world, everything is marketing. It's built on 4 key pillars: building real long-term relationships, making sure all your messaging is consistent and integrated, getting your own employees on board through internal marketing, and actually measuring what works with performance marketing. This example from Snowshoe Mountain Resort really brings that idea of internal marketing to life. Their big goal was to deliver an authentic, rustic wilderness experience. That's a great slogan, but how do you make it real? Well, they started from the inside. They created this detailed brand book for all their employees, put up signs on the mountain reminding staff of the brand promise, and had the marketing director personally present the brand to every single new hire. And the result? The employees became the brand. They made that promise a reality for every guest. So the big takeaway from all this is simple. In the 21st century, marketing isn't just one thing. It's everything. It's the product you make, the culture you build inside your company, the way you answer the phone, and the relationships you grow. It's all connected, and it all matters. So I'll just leave you with this question. Now that you see marketing as this art and science of finding and meeting human needs, how are you going to see it differently in your own life? Next time you see a political ad, or shop in a store, or use your favorite app, look a little closer, because now you know the code, and you're going to start seeing it everywhere.